Hey, thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Taylor Cox, and we are tracking storms across both the east and the west coast today. So let's take a look at your headlines. Actually, I'm going to first take you out to the Atlantic. Goodbye, Imelda. Imelda is now just a low pressure system, a messy, disorganized cluster of storms, no longer a tropical storm, no longer a hurricane. But we do have two new areas to watch for storm development. One that's attempting to come into the Gulf, another way out in the Atlantic. So we're going to show you those two areas to watch over the next few days. We'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. Other than that, it's pretty quiet out there, and we hate to use the Q word here in weather because the second we use that word, things just go crazy. So we'll have to see what happens in the next few weeks. Across the middle of the U.S., we really have a pretty dry and warm afternoon ahead of us, or several dry and warm afternoons. Let's take a look at what's happening this week. We have a storm restoration masterclass that's happening in just a few days. On Monday, October 6th, here in Oklahoma City, actually, really close to home. Derek Klein, our CEO, is speaking at RoofCon. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to roofcon.com/2025-Oklahoma and use the code HailTrace for 40% off your tickets. And we're also doing an OU football giveaway. It is football season. We are right in the middle of it, and this week OU plays Kent State. That is on Saturday, October 4th. It starts at 3 o'clock. So here's what you do to win 2 pairs of OU tickets, a parking pass, and Champions Tailgate Access, which is actually a lot of fun if you've never done that before. Go onto the Google Play Store or the App Store and rate and review the HailTrace app. Tell us how great that we're doing, or tell us anything that you think that we should improve, and then we will sign you up for that tailgate experience. We're really excited about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we saw yesterday. Really not a lot going on yesterday. As I mentioned, the middle of the country, very, very quiet. We've got a few showers and storms across the west coast and a few showers and storms across the east coast as well. Very similar to yesterday. That's what we're going to see today as well. What's happening here is we've got a ridge building across the U.S., and that's going to help to keep us pretty warm and dry over the next few days. So what you see right now is what we're going to get as we head into Friday and maybe even Saturday as well. We've got a lot of activity out on the west coast, and if you see this front right there highlighted in blue, this is what's going to help our severe weather for tomorrow. So yes, we do have a chance for severe weather tomorrow. We've also got a funnel of moisture that just keeps pushing into Florida. This will be one of the disturbances that we're watching over the next few days that could turn into some sort of tropical cyclone. We'll keep an eye on it, but right now it's just causing a flooding issue in this area. For your significant hail model, we'll play this one more time. What we're watching for is the west coast, anywhere from Idaho to Montana. We've got a little disturbance in this area that could produce some pop-up hailstorms today. For the most part, I think that we will probably stay hail-free. However, if we do get any hail, it'll probably be on the small size. We're talking about penny, maybe up to nickel-sized hail. No significant hail expected today. Nothing over the size of a quarter. But if it does happen, hey, if it surprises us, our meteorologist will be watching that. Let's take a look at the future radar. So as I mentioned earlier, we're watching both the east coast here, down in Florida, and the west coast for that flooding issue today. We've got more severe weather expected along the west coast tomorrow. So we've got 2 disturbances. The middle of the country will stay dry. And then we've got that disturbance out in the Atlantic that we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. Where's Imelda? Well, Imelda, as I mentioned earlier, is just a cluster of disorganized, messy storms that are out in the middle of the Atlantic now, tracking off to the east. This is not really anything to write home about. We're not going to be focusing on Imelda too much. It's basically just a low pressure system that is most likely not going to organize into anything interesting. Moving on to the west coast here, as we mentioned, we've got a lot of moisture in this area. That's going to continue to produce a round of showers and storms today, again with the risk for very small hail, most likely not going severe in this area. One of the biggest risks that we're watching for here is going to be that flood risk. We could see scattered flooding in this area. So I think that's a level 1, maybe even a level 2 risk for flooding. Actually, I think I have that graphic right here. Let's take a look at that flooding risk for today. Yeah, we're at level 1 here, highlighted in green, anywhere from the central portion of Idaho all the way down into the eastern side of California. We've also got a flood risk. You can barely see it on this map here down in Florida. So right along the coast here, we've just got shower after shower after shower, and this will continue to produce a flood risk in this area, not only today, but also tomorrow, and maybe even into the weekend. Here's your flood risk this weekend. And that's all thanks to a disturbance that's happening just along the East Coast. So I'm actually going to fast forward here. Oh wait, did we miss a graphic? I got too clicker happy. I pressed these buttons a little too fast. There we go. I did miss a graphic. How many graphics did we miss? Let's see. There's Imelda. So we've got a 980 pressure right there. Not too impressive, hey, not too bad. Moving to the northeast at about 29 miles an hour. It's moving really, really fast here. But why that this, I mean, it's got some strong winds too, 75 miles an hour. But why this storm is not classified as a tropical storm or a Category 1 hurricane anymore is because it's very disorganized. It doesn't have that clear circulation anymore. You can see that it's just a low pressure system, an area of disorganized storms. And I can already see, oh, there we go. My clicker is working again. I was clicking that button and nothing was happening. We're going to move on here. Let's take a look at this low pressure system. Where is Imelda going? It's going to continue up into the higher latitudes, continuing to be very disorganized. Nothing to worry about there. But we do have another area of concern, and it does look like my graphics are not going to cooperate at this time. Joey, could you go back to that? Yeah, just hit escape, go back to that graphic, extend it one more time. We're going to talk about 2 more areas of concern over the next few days. Now, it's a low chance right now. We're sitting at about a 20% chance for cyclone development, but I do want to show you the next areas of concern. Perfect, Joey, thank you. Right there. Okay, so here's your first area of concern. Here's the coast of Africa right here. Then we've got the Atlantic Ocean, a very long way to go until we get closer to the U.S. But you can see this wide area that we have circled here in yellow for a low chance for tropical cyclone formation. Most likely not anytime soon, but maybe by next week we could see something in this area, basically signifying to us that hurricane season is not over yet. Now, if we extend that graphic just a little bit further, it's going to take you closer to the Gulf, right in the middle of Florida. Is that something we can? Yeah, perfect. Okay, Joey's helping us out here. Thank you, Joey. So we've got another area of disturbance. Now, what's happening with this right here is it's bringing a lot of rain to the southern and eastern side of Florida. That's bringing a lot of flooding issues in this area. That's what's happening right now. And it's a low chance to turn into some sort of tropical cyclone. The National Hurricane Center has identified a 10% chance for that to happen, but I think that the biggest issue here is going to be that flooding issue. So again, we said 2 areas to watch for over the next 5 to 6 days, most likely nothing happening in the next 2 days. So we get a break for a little bit, but we're going to have to keep an eye on this as we head into the next week. Alrighty, moving on here, what did HailTrace say for your 2025 hurricane forecast? We haven't gotten it right quite yet. However, we still have about a month left of hurricane season, so we could still be right on the nose here. Our average hurricane season, we'll see about 14 named storms. HailTrace said this year about average, maybe a bit above average. We've already seen 2, maybe 3 major hurricanes this year. What did we see? We saw Aaron and we saw Humberto, both Cat 5s. Joey is confirming 2 major hurricanes so far this year. So we got that one right so far. And again, as I mentioned, we still have a month left of hurricane season. We are only at October 2nd right now. We have at least until November 1st to see the majority of our very, very active portion of the season. Alrighty, moving on. What will be our next named storm? We just saw Imelda, now not anything to worry about. It's a fish storm out in the middle of the Atlantic. We're at Jerry now, so Jerry will be our next named storm eventually. There's Imelda. What will be our next named storm? We'll have to see as we go into the next 5 to 7 days. When will we finally get more rain in the center portion of the U.S.? It's going to take a little bit. We'll most likely be pretty dry this weekend, and then we'll see more activity later on next week. So we're talking about Monday or Tuesday. Maybe we could get a cold front or two in here. We've got some rain coming to the Midwest by Tuesday, and then across the East Coast by Wednesday. And again, we're talking about 5-6 days from now. Let's bring you back on land to talk about temperatures as well. Before we get all of that rain, it's going to stay dry and warm. Most of the country across the U.S. right now is definitely above average. So what's happening here is a big ridge is setting up, and it's bringing up all of that warm air. It's bringing up a lot of sunshine as well. Temperatures are sitting about 15 to 20 degrees. 20 degrees, what did I say there? 2 degrees? 15 to 20 degrees above average for this time of the year. So basically what we're saying is if your average is 75 for this time of the year, you may be feeling like 90, maybe 95 degrees out there. I think we've definitely got some 90s that are trying to mix into Texas here. Take a look at this. Highs for today down in Dallas at 93. That doesn't feel like October at all. We've got 89 in Oklahoma City, 87 for tomorrow in Kansas City. So I hope your Friday plans come with sunglasses and sunscreen because it's going to be a very warm one out there on both Friday and Saturday. Pretty nice weekend ahead. How long will this warm weather last? Well, temperatures are likely to be above average all the way through the middle of October. So we're taking a look at October 11th at this point, and temperatures are likely to still stay above average. I wonder how that's going to help or hurt our fall foliage this year. You know, it's drier, it's warmer. I don't know. I think that'll be really interesting. All right, what about the chances for some rain right in the middle of the U.S.? We'll see some rain return probably the 1st to 2nd week of October. We see a little bit of rain returning by the middle of next week, but I think that we'll see that become more frequent as we head into the middle of next month, or of this month, I guess now, because it is officially October, everyone. It's October 2nd. Alrighty, and there's your forecast for today. Thanks for joining us. Pretty short and sweet because we are talking about very little happening in the Atlantic and very little happening on land as well. But you guys know the drill here. Anytime we say the word quiet in the weather community, something big happens. So we'll, of course, be keeping an eye on the weather because it can change very quickly. Our meteorologists will be tracking it, and we'll be posting about it as well. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, and give us a call for a hail, wind, or tornado map at 855-334-4245. I'm doing this by memory because it's not popping up here. Email us at HailTrace. info@HailTrace.com, or head over to our website, HailTrace.com. All right, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you back here, same time, same place for your forecast tomorrow.